The S&P 500, the Nasdaq 100, you know why we're here. Now tomorrow, we have some very big news that will shake and shift the market sentiment. I'm not going to make you wait. CPI data. Bright and early, 7:30 a.m. Central. It will be released an hour before market open. This will dictate the movement, in my opinion, over the next week at least. But on top of this, this puts back into the thesis of what's happening. And this couldn't come in at a more critical time, right? Little backtrack. What's happened over the past few days? Downgrade on our credit, U.S. credit. Downgrade on banks. China market, utter destruction right now. More rules and regulations. It's just like bad news, stair-stepping, bad. But all that to be said, the market still looks a little decent. You're coming back into previous highs. You are on a critical point. That's where we're attacking today. If you have questions, you need to be commenting down below. Let's get to it. Okay, so immediately I want to jump right into where we're at here on the chart. And I'm just going to demonstrate and show you a lot of stuff that's happened. I mentioned it yesterday, and I think today was a perfect example. You look here at the 4-hour, a lot of wicks under this level. A lot of wicks here on the S&P specifically. You're closed below it today, though. This is your previous highs you had. Very simple, very easy to see 52-week highs. Okay? Now, going into Nasdaq. Nasdaq a little bit worse, a little bit disconnected, discombobulated, right? Clearly below, making lower lows and lower highs. One might call this a bearish short-term structure playing out here on the chart. Not beautiful action, not what you want to see. We've definitely seen tech pulling back a lot more than ES heavy names and Dow specifically. Dow is still performing great. Boeing pushing up great. Caterpillar hit all-time highs literally 2-3 days ago. Home Depot looks good. A lot of energy names, very bullish, which we need to talk about that a little bit more as well. So these are all things we got to be paying attention to, okay? We have to. Stay with me now. So that's what we're looking at there. Now, again, we've seen the dollar also have a massive resurgence over the past 15, 17 days, almost 20 days, right? Straight up. A lot of love here. This also points to the thesis of, is risk getting taken off the table, right? Again, and going into CPI, you're like, Tyler, well, why is CPI this time more scary than previous? You know, since essentially the beginning of July till now, oil and energy prices have gone straight up. Okay, you've heard the rumors of what's happening in Texas, or Texas energy bills going up 800%. Now that's crazy that it didn't happen to me, but we heard those cases out there. So again, this is the worrisome part, right? But I will say, and someone quoted me and they said Tyler said that energy won't affect CPI this go around. I never said that. That's a lie. I've never once have I said that. What I did say is I'm unsure if we'll get the full impact. For instance, we're not going to get the impact of CPI being over $80, at least, or U.S. oil crude being over $80. Why? Because this has happened over the past week and a half. Okay, so if the price of oil rises, $100 overnight, then you're not going to wake up and go to your gas pump and it's going to be a crazy up from the day before. Supply and demand has to take effect, right? So we have to take that into account. But you're getting into the dangerous territory. This is almost 45 days now. So I'm how much are we going to get? And it's worth mentioning as well, we flash back 30, 40 days and energy was at lows. So it still could be beneficial. And then on top of that, with CPI, you also have, what's happening with rents. Rent prices have dropped. So these are all things that are taking effect right now. So I don't think the CPI necessarily has to be terrible, but I'm still going into this pretty sitting on my hands patient, okay? So understand that. Before we go into anything else, I'd ask you to consider doing two things: liking and subscribing. It helps out tons, guys. Every single day, post videos for you so you stay prepared. More than anything, you got to stay prepared in this market, and I think I'm your guy to keep you prepared. And then also to optiondrops.com, right? This isn't like a signals where you're just going to follow us and make $1 million. Never going to tell you that. But if you want to get around people that are trading every single day, who live and breathe and die by doing this, then you might like this. Get involved. But I will tell you, if you go into this expecting not to put in work, not to apply yourself, you will be disappointed and you'll probably leave within a week or two. Okay? I say this and I know it causes me to get less subscribers to it, but I don't want to waste anyone's time, including my own. Come into this with the mentality to work. If you do not, you will miss out. For instance, we have over 1,000 members in Discord. Yes, 1,000. And today, on our event, today was a webinar. Okay? I want to give you a visual. Today we had, I believe, 25 people out of 1,000 people show up to the webinar. You're hearing that right. Okay? That's it. And it'll be saved here so you can go back and you can look at all this as well. Right? But that just shows you, out of 1,000 people, only 25 people want to apply themselves. I'm just saying, maybe you're busy, you need to do work, maybe go watch in your free time. It is what it is. Okay, so I just want to say that. We're trying to work hands-on with you guys so you know. A little bit of visual of what we traded throughout the day as well. Only thing we traded today was NVIDIA. What did we do here? And let me tell you, it went absolutely bananas. So Jay, I actually posted it here on Twitter so you guys can see, but there's evidence there as you just saw there. Look at these contracts. Shout out Jay Ream. This man went absolutely berserk on this one. Contracts went from around $7 to $16 on NVIDIA. Shout out Jay. There was also a Tesla scalp. You got pushed up and you got pushed right back down is what it is there as well. But shout out Jay Ream. The thing went absolutely nuts. Back into the video. So going to tomorrow. Patience, people. Patience. It's all I can say, right? I'm not going to come out and predict what's going to happen. I'm not going to come out and tell you where we're going to go. I'm not. I'm going to tell you one thing, though. What you can guarantee, if CPI comes in higher than expected, I would bet my left foot that it's going to get a little bit ugly. And if I had to give you a target to the downside with a bad reading, I'm going to tell you, man, get the suds a little bit here, eh? I'm going to be targeting the downside of at least 14.8. I know, that's 600 points. I'm a bold guy. We go to ES. At least, I mean, honestly, you're going to get more downside than this. I'm just going to tell you. But your supply zone probably, I think, yeah, your demand ends around 4,300 either way. You can also see, too, you go to like the weekly level. It's just, this is a weekly demand zone. It's huge. Like you literally just had a monster base here. So, you know, you're coming to a massive support. I'm telling you right now. That's why I think the odds are still in the favor of the bulls. I'm still telling you, right? I think even if you have a bad reading, that doesn't mean you're going to push back into a massive downtrend. It will cause some pain for sure. But if the data comes out good, I think we're almost guaranteed to see a bounce because this level is massive. Same on NQ. It is a massive level, guys. I can only say it so many times. You literally based here for like 3 weeks. This is a huge support zone, okay? So that's what we're looking at. That's what we're watching. You can see it comes right down to like 14,852. So that's what we're looking at there. Okay, those are my favorite names. Those are the ones on top of my list. That's what I'm watching. This is what it comes down specifically on the S&P and the Nasdaq, and I think that's the main thing we need to be watching. And again, like I said earlier with Dow, Dow's clearly just performing the best here, right? You know, you're sitting at support. You really haven't had any dramatic downside. Out of all the indexes, it's the one that clearly still looks like a bull flag as well. I mean, you still look really good. You're above that support line as well. I don't know what else to say. So again, today's video, not super long, very direct to the point. Patience, but I expect some fireworks into tomorrow. Make sure you're paying attention tomorrow because we're going to be live at 10:30 a.m. Central. I expect to see you there. Yeah, I'm talking to you right there. So I'll see you again tomorrow. Have a good one, boys and girls, specifically the MILFs.